In the week leading up to Pentecost 2016, the Archbishops of Canterbury and York invited every parish to instigate a week of prayer. Like many churches, St Mary's Send was open during the week and special prayer stations were set up to inspire people in their prayers. Tony also had the idea of painting some pictures representing the gifts of the Holy Spirit, and on the day of Pentecost, in his sermon, he explained what each one represented.
These are all birds, so which bird can I use to evoke wisdom? Well, it had to be an owl, didn't it? So there's my owl. It's a wise old owl. It's a winky wise old owl. Because there's something about wisdom that causes us to wink, don't you think? I think so anyway. And I stuck his arm up because there's a kind of note of protection about that, I think. So it's a wise thing to be protective. So that's number one of the gifts of the Holy Spirit. Wisdom. Now, what's this? This is knowledge. As a couple of goldfinches. There was a time in medieval period when goldfinches were associated with Christian views of salvation. So I've tried to paint them on a cross. And there's a couple of them to evoke some sort of shared knowledge, shared conversation about things. I'll turn it round for the choir. So that's a gift of the Holy Spirit, knowledge. What do we know that's really worth knowing? How will we use that knowledge? I think I did this one next. This is counsel, gift of counsel, painted as a kingfisher. Now counsel, maybe we think of people with mental health problems going to get some help. That's not really what counsel is. Counsel is the ability to know the right thing to do immediately. So I quite like the idea of a kingfisher, because when it sees a fish, it knows what to do immediately. So that's what that's all about. And it's a gift, isn't it? To know what to do at the right time. This is understanding, painted as an Egyptian goose. This is partly inspired by driving along Vicarage Lane the other day. Well, more than that, I'll go back a bit further. I don't know if you've ever seen one of these things. We get them around here. They were introduced whenever as ornamental fowl, but now they live and breed and have their being quite easily in the United Kingdom. And they're quite pretty things. They're quite noisy things as well, and we've had one for the last few weeks, sits in a tree outside the vicarage at 4 o'clock in the morning and starts to call all its friends around. So I've been thinking about Egyptian geese for a few weeks. Anyway, I was driving along Vicarage Lane the other day, and one went sort of crashing through the trees above me. So I thought, that's a great angle. What's it got to do with understanding? Well, that's a good question. all of these paintings, I mean, I could have chosen any bird, I suppose. I call them icons, so the point is you kind of look at them and you don't sort of immediately nail the meaning of it. You discover the meaning by keep thinking about it. So the meaning of understanding, well, never mind the Egyptian goose. The important thing is that the Holy Spirit gives us understanding, deep understanding about the meaning of things, the real meaning of things. So maybe the answer will come to me in the goose one day. So here's my next one. This is, see if you can guess what this one is. The bird is a goldcrest. All right. I'm going to have to give the answer away. when I was thinking, what bird shall I use to depict strength? I thought, well, it's got to be some kind of magnificent bird of prey. Sure. We sometimes get red kites around here, which is a bit of a novelty. They're quite nice to see. So I thought, well, it's got to be a red kite because that was nice to paint. And I thought, well, they're not very common. It better be a buzzard. So then I was walking out the vicarage, coming here to pray earlier in the week, and a red kite flew overhead. So I thought, oh, it's got to be a red kite again. And then I had a conversation when I was here with somebody, and they said, they were talking about the birds, and they said they'd seen a goldcrest in their garden, which was very pretty. And I suddenly had the thought, that's the bird for me for strength, the smallest UK bird. Because there's something in that dynamic of small and big, weak and strong. So there's the sort of quite a big little goldcrest for strength. Oh, what was I going to do for piety? Well, that all sounded a bit kind of religious. Piety is a lovely thing. So I had another conversation with somebody and they were talking about larks. So that's a skylark. The banding is supposed to represent the spheres of heaven. Traditionally there are 7 of them. So I painted 6 and the 7th is above the frame. That's the idea. Alright? So the skylark's got to 6th heaven, heading to 7th heaven. That's what piety does, it lifts us up. And piety can't be reduced to religion. That's pretty dull. But piety is very important. It lifts our spirits, it's a gift. And finally, running out of time at 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon and determined to finish it for today, and I wanted something red. So this represents the fear of the Lord. And it's more about the kind of attitude than the bird. It's meant to be a pheasant. And style-wise, because it was in a hurry, it's ended up in between styles, so I'm not particularly pleased with it. But I like the look. I like the look. The fear of the Lord. Now, in the biblical tradition, the fear of the Lord, which sounds a kind of scary thing, it's not fear in a scary sense. It's fear in the sense of awe and wonder and captivating our attention for God. And in the biblical tradition, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. It says that in the Psalms. So it kind of brings us full circle.